Hello, my dear students. I welcome to all of you to this session of refrigeration and air conditioning. Dear students, you know that our last class we have discussed the vapor absorption refrigeration system. Simple vapor absorption refrigeration system was discussed. Today we will be going to discuss about the practical or actual vapor absorption refrigeration system. I am Dhiraj Mondal, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, GIS College of Engineering, Kollani, Nodia. So this is my contact number and email ID. You can contact me if you are having any doubt related to subject and admission purpose. Okay. So all the assignment related to my subject you have to submit in this official email ID. You can see here. This is GIS College of Engineering, which is basically most trusted engineering college according to the India Today ranking. First in private engineering college is West Bengal according to the India Today ranking 2020, and admission is open here for 2020. You can contact this number in case if you want to join our Department of Mechanical Engineering. Most welcome. You can visit our lab facilities and all these, a dedicated CNC machine, your automated CNC machine, robotics, and AutoCAD, CATIA, lot of software you can experience training on CATIA, AutoCAD. Okay, and all the departmental faculties, they are expert on this particular your language, like simulation. Okay, AutoCAD, CATIA, like this. Okay, so which are basically needed for industry requirement. Okay, so these are the things which is available: lathe machine, milling machine, and all this. You will see the you can see the lab facilities, and in case if you want to join, you can contact this number. This is the phone number of our HOD. And NBA accredited tier 1 college department, your mechanical engineering department, it is NBA tier 1 accredited department, and GIS College of Engineering NAC approval, AICT NIR ranked, your WAOT UGC approval college. So most welcome to GIS College of Engineering. So today we will be discussing about the vapor absorption refrigeration system, practical or actual vapor absorption refrigeration system. So you know that last class we have discussed that introduction, what is vapor absorption refrigeration system, what are the types and the principle, evaporation, absorption, refrigeration. Okay, and this diagram was discussed, and these are the explanation. You can see components, in case if you want to see, this is the component of the vapor absorption refrigeration system. Here you can see, here in the figure, this is the freeze. You can see this is basically operated by vapor compression refrigeration system. And what about the picture you are seeing, that is your refrigeration system. And what are the advantages of vapor absorption refrigeration system? Less noise, can be used for above 1000 ton capacity. Your advantage, next advantage is corrosion problem is less. Next, maintenance cost is low. Disadvantages, what are the disadvantages? Low COP, only ammonia can be used as refrigerant, and bulky in size. You can see the size is very that means if the space is not your space is not your primary concern, then you can use this vapor absorption refrigeration system. What are the applications? Applications, it is used as evaporator, cooler, widely used in cold storage, ice making plant. Okay, in oil refineries, chemical plants, recreational vehicles. So these are the advantages, applications. Here you can use all this. Okay, Now, yesterday we have discussed simple vapor absorption reference system. Today we will be discussing practical or actual vapor absorption reference system. Okay. So, in this figure you can see, in case of simple vapor absorption reference system, only evaporator, expansion valve, condenser, generator, pump, that is a solution pump, and reducing valve, and the absorber. These are the things which we have discussed. But practically it is not sufficient to operate the vapor absorption reference system, because there must be some arrangement so that it can, the efficiency, or the COP can can be improved by the help of that particular arrangement. Okay. So this is the arrangement of the vapor absorption reference system. You can see, if you have not seen my previous lecture, please see that lecture, otherwise it will be more complicated, because if you don't know what is the function, how it is operated, vapor absorption reference system, then this class will be useless, because their rectifier, your analyzer, rectifier, heat exchanger, use of heat exchanger is shown here, you can see. But I would like to say a few words on the vapor absorption reference system, because this is the continuation of the previous lecture. So that let us recapitulate this part again, with a very little time. Okay. So what we have seen, that is your this is your evaporator section, absorber section, pump, reducing valve, generator, and condenser, and expansion valve. Instead of the compressor used in vapor compression reference system, what we are using, we are using 4 components like absorber, pump, reducing valve, and the generator. Okay. So we have seen that the energy needed to operate these 4 components is very less than the energy needed to operate the single compressor, because compressor is used to compressor is basically operated by the electrical work, but this generator, it can be used by the steam or electricity or any kind of flow gas, or any kind of solar energy, solar heater, like this. Okay. So that is why we will see that it is taking some low grade energy, and very less expensive heat is taking. But in case of compressor, we are taking more energy compared to the vapor absorption reference system. Okay. But what I want to say that this is the simple vapor absorption reference system. How it is operating? From the evaporator, in the evaporator, liquid ammonia is there. Now what happened, that liquid ammonia, whenever some heat is added into the system, that liquid ammonia is taking latent heat from the system, and it gets vaporized by this heat, and low pressure vapor ammonia is coming out from the evaporator, and it is entering into the absorber. In the absorber, the cooling water circulation is there, and by the help of this cooling water, QA amount of heat is extracted from the low pressure, low temperature vapor ammonia, and again it is that vapor ammonia, it is releasing some latent heat to the cooling water, and it is again transforming into liquid. Okay. So what we have got, low temperature, low pressure liquid ammonia. Now when it is mixed up with the water solution, and that solution is entering into the generator by the help of the solution pump. Okay. So this is the, you can see, this is the solution pump, and by the help of the solution, strong solution is coming to the generator, and weak solution is coming back to the absorber by the help of the pressure reducing valve. Okay, now what happened in the generator? Heat is given, it may be electricity, it may be solar heat or anything else. Then what happened, the heat is basically when heat is given, then high pressure liquid ammonia, vapor ammonia, it is coming out from the generator and it is entering to the cooling condenser, and weak solution is coming back to the absorber. Okay, in whatever the refrigerant available in the condenser, that is condensed, that vapor refrigerant is condensed by the help of the cooling water. Again it is releasing some latent heat to the cooling water, and again it is transforming into liquid ammonia, but at high pressure. Am I right? Then this liquid ammonia is entering into the expansion, and from the expansion, in the expansion valve, isenthalpic process or throttle device, it is when it is expanded and enthalpy remain unchanged, but the volume is increasing and pressure and temperature is decreasing. So as a result, what we have seen at the outlet of the expansion valve, low temperature, low pressure liquid ammonia will be available, and again it is entering into the evaporator, again it is evaporating and coming to the absorber. This is how it is operated. Now practical and actual vapor absorption refrigeration system, you know, although a simple vapor absorption system can provide refrigeration, yet its operating efficiency is very low. Okay, so this is the methodology. By the help of this, low temperature region can be maintained, but the operating efficiency is low and not very economical. Okay, so what we have done, instead of this, that means here some arrangement, some accessories is placed here, fitted here, so that the efficiency will be in improved mode. Okay, will be in increasing order. So in order to improve the performance and working of the plant, some accessories are fitted. Number one is your analyzer, you can see in this point, analyzer. Number two is your rectifier, this is the rectifier, and number three is a heat exchanger. What is this? This one is your heat exchanger. So again I am telling you, number one is your analyzer, number two is your rectifier, number three is your heat exchanger. These are the three devices which are used here, so that the performance of the vapor absorption refrigeration system is improved. Okay, in driving the ammonia vapor vapor out of the solution in the generator, it is possible to avoid evaporating some of the water. This water vapor going to the condenser along with the ammonia vapor after condensing may get frozen to ice and block the expansion valve. So an analyzer rectifier combination, analyzer rectifier, you can see analyzer and rectifier, this combination is used to eliminate water vapor from the ammonia vapor going into the condenser. Okay, so again I am telling you, basically these are the arrangement, these are the accessories which are used to improve the efficiency. What is the function of the analyzer? The analyzer may be, that means this is the analyzer, you can see, and it is like a tray shape. Okay, the analyzer may be built as integral part of the generator or made as a separate piece of equipment, and this analyzer is basically, it is a direct heat exchanger consisting of a series of trays mounted above the generator. Clear? You can see this is the evaporator. From the evaporator, the liquid ammonia is entering, coming out. Not liquid ammonia, low temperature, low pressure vapor ammonia is coming out, and it is entering to the heat exchanger, then it is coming to the evaporator, absorber. From the absorber, it is the heat is absorbed and solution, the strong solution is coming to the heat generator through this solution pump, heat exchanger and analyzer after the generator. Okay, and from the analyzer the strong solution is coming to the rectifier, and from the rectifier some part of the water part is eliminated and it is coming to the generator again, and from the rectifier it is coming to the condenser to heat exchanger to expansion valve, and expansion valve to evaporator again. So what we have used? One analyzer, one rectifier and two heat exchanger. Okay, these are the heat exchanger. These are the heat exchanger which have been used here. Okay, now you can see the analyzer. What is the function of analyzer? The analyzer is a direct heat exchanger. Okay, the analyzer is a direct heat exchanger consisting of a series of trays mounted above the generator. This is the generator and it is mounted above the generator. The strong solution from the absorber flows downward over the trays to cool the outgoing vapor. Okay, strong solution, these are the strong solution. Okay, and the strong solution from the absorber flows downward over the trays to cool the outgoing vapor. Since that saturation temperature of water is higher than that of ammonia, you know that the saturation temperature of water is higher than the ammonia. Ammonia at a given pressure, it is the water vapor which condenses first. Okay, again I am telling you, since the saturation temperature of water is higher than that of ammonia, it is, at a given pressure, it is the water vapor which condenses first. Okay, as the vapor passes upward, when that means the vapor passes, this is the vapor, and as the vapor passes upward through the analyzer, it is cooled and enriched by ammonia and the liquid is heated. Thus the vapor going to the condenser is lower in temperature and richer in ammonia. The heat input to the generator is decreased. So this is the function of analyzer. The analyzer, it is a series of trays which is basically mounted above the generator, and the strong solution from the absorber flows downward over the trays to cool the outgoing vapor. Okay, and we know that since the saturation temperature of water is higher than the saturation temperature of the ammonia, so that means we can say that water vapor is basically it will first condense, and after that what will happen? As the vapor passes upward through the analyzer, it is cooled and enriched by ammonia. So this ammonia, it is enriched by ammonia and some part of the water is coming to the rectifier. Okay, so what happened after that? The liquid is heated by the help of this generator. Thus the vapor going to the condenser is lower in temperature and richer in ammonia. Okay, so here it is when it is coming, it is lower in temperature but richer in ammonia. Okay, richer in ammonia, and the heat input to the generator is decreased. Now the function of rectifier you need to know, very very important. What is the function of rectifier? The rectifier is water cooled heat exchanger. This is the rectifier, you can see. This is a water cooled heat exchanger which condenses water vapor and some ammonia and send back to the generator. Okay, so by the help of the drip return pipe, this is the, you can see, this is the drip return pipe. The rectifier basically, it is water cooled heat exchanger and it is basically condenses the water vapor, and as it is condenses water vapor, some ammonia can be condensed. Okay, but main motto is to condense the water vapor. okay, and send back to the generator again, because we need to send the vapor ammonia to the compressor, a condenser. Okay, clear. Thus final reduction or elimination of the percentage of water vapor takes place in the rectifier. So in the rectifier, what we are doing, the finally we are reducing or eliminating the water vapor in the rectifier. Clear. So this is the function of the rectifier. So rectifier and analyzer, I hope it is clear now. If I want to say that what is the function of heat exchanger in your heat transfer subject, you know that the heat, what is heat exchanger? It is basically heat exchanger is a device which is basically exchanging or you're replacing heat from, that means you're transferring heat from a lower temperature reservoir to a lower reservoir to a higher reservoir. Okay, so it is basically some process to exchange heat. Okay, the heat exchanger provided between the pump, you can see this is the pump and here one heat exchanger is provided. So between the pump and generator it is used, and it is used to cool the weak hot solution returning from the generator to absorber. Okay, you can see whenever the from the solution pump the heat exchanger is entering into the water solution, strong solution is entering into the heat exchanger. It is taking some heat from the solution which is coming to the generator to absorber by this, through this reducing valve. Okay, so the heat from the weak solution raises the temperature of the strong solution. Clear. So this is how why it is the heat exchanger is used. Okay, so again I am telling you the from the evaporator the liquid ammonia is turns into vapor, and it is coming to the heat exchanger where it is heated. Okay, by the help of this suction line heat exchanger which is coming out, which is basically connected to the expansion valve, in between expansion valve and condenser. Okay, so the ammonia vapor is entering into the absorber where it is absorbed and Q amount of heat is released, and the strong solution is taken to the solution pump, and in the solution pump from the solution pump it is entering to the heat exchanger again. Then from in the heat exchanger it is taking some heat here. So by taking some heat from the heat exchanger, and it is entering to the analyzer to the generator. Okay, so I hope it is clear what is the function. The heat basically heat is the heat removed from the weak solution. This is the weak solution, you can say. So heat removed from the weak solution raises the temperature of the strong solution, leaving the pump and going to the analyzer and generator. The operation reduces the heat supplied to the generator and amount of cooling required for the absorber. So this operation basically reduces the heat supplied to the generator, because already it is taking some heat from the weak solution, and amount of cooling required for the absorber is that heat also. This is that means this is how you can say there is some effect or some benefit you can get by the help of this heat exchanger. Thus the plant economy is enhanced. Okay, the heat exchanger, again another heat exchanger is provided between the condenser and evaporator. You can see this is the evaporator and this is the condenser. In between this condenser and evaporator, another one heat exchanger is used, and it may be called subcooler. Okay, this is also called subcooler. It is in this heat exchanger the liquid refrigerant leaving the condenser is subcooled by the low temperature ammonia vapor from the evaporator. Okay, so what I want to say that it is the heat exchanger, and here basically what happened, the liquid refrigerant which is leaving the condenser, it is subcooled by the low temperature ammonia vapor from the evaporator, as it is taking some latent heat, so from the from this part. So what happened, again it is subcooled. Okay, so ultimately what I have seen, the temperature is again minimizing. Okay, this subcooled liquid is now passed to the expansion valve and then to the evaporator, and ultimately what we will see, we will see the maximum amount of temperature is reduced by the help of this heat exchanger. Okay, so how we can say what is the coefficient of performance of the system? So coefficient of performance is given by COP is equal to desired effect or by work input, or we can say the heat extracted from the evaporator. This is the evaporator, so heat extracted from the evaporator by heat supplied to the generator. This is the generator, so QG amount of heat is supplied plus work done by pump. So what is the work is given to the pump in the solution pump? So that is the COP. COP is the heat extracted from the evaporator by heat supplied in the generator plus work done by the pump. Okay, so I hope it is clear. So and the following points you can about the heat absorption are, that means you can see here, these are the points which is very important, and how it is operated. Here basically we have used two heat exchanger, one analyzer, one rectifier. In the rectifier the water is separated and sent back to the generator again by the help of drip pipe return. Okay, and in the analyzer, in the heat exchanger, function of heat exchanger you have seen, function of analyzer you have seen, and this is how you can improve the efficiency of the refrigerant, efficiency of the VARS, vapor absorption refrigeration system. Okay, so this is all about the practical vapor absorption refrigeration system. Next class we will be discussing about the properties of ideal refrigerant absorbent and refrigerant absorbent combination. Okay, so what are the properties we will be seen. Okay, in the next class, properties of the ideal refrigerant is, you will see that low specific heat, stability of complete cycle, high critical temperature, latent heat of vaporization. Okay, so these are the properties of ideal refrigerant, and the vapor characteristics should be such that will permit boiling at 2 degrees centigrade to 10 degrees centigrade and condensation at 40 degrees centigrade or above at pressure not far for atmospheric, and should be large latent heat of vaporization, high critical temperature, low specific heat, stability in complete cycle. Okay, so these are the properties for ideal refrigerant. It will be discussed afterward, and properties of ideal absorbent can be will be discussed. The greater affinity of the for the refrigerant. Okay, so these are the properties, the greater affinity of the for the refrigerant. Then when refrigerant is absorbed by the absorbent, heat liberated should be minimum. Okay, number 3 point, high boiling point. This is for ideal absorbent. Okay, low specific heat, chemical stability. So these are the properties of the absorbent, and properties of ideal refrigerant absorbent combination. If I want to say that the combination should be possesses, there is some combination. The number one, you can say that the refrigerant should have high affinity for absorber at low temperature and less affinity at high temperature. Okay, and number two, you can say the combination should have high degree of negative deviation from Raoult's law. You know Raoult's law? Okay, we will be discussing Raoult's law. Okay, the mixer should have low specific heat and low viscosity. Next, the mixer solution should be non-corrosive. The mixer should have a small heat. Okay, and number 6, the mixer should have low freezing point. There should be a large difference in the normal boiling point of the refrigerant and the absorbent. So these are the properties of ideal refrigerant absorbent combination. So these will be discussed in the next class. So today up to this, and before ending to the video, I would like to say that admission is open for 2020. You can join JIS College of Engineering Mechanical Engineering Department, which is NBA Tier 1 accredited, and you can see the ranking. JIS College of Engineering is basically in Eastern India. There are 26 in JIS group. There are 26 colleges, 35,000 students. Okay, and you know that the lab facilities is more sufficient, and the first engineering college in India, which is Flip Class Digital Studio. You can see Flip Class in Digital Studio application. You can see here. So again, I am welcoming you to the JIS College of Engineering, Department of Mechanical Engineering. You can call me here and submit the assignment in this email ID. Okay. Today up to this. Thank you for listening. Jai Hind.